Kelsey. I have my hat, and I am going to be filming today my February TBR, and this is a list of books that I am very excited to read. So without further ado, here are the books that I am hoping to get through in February. The first book on this list I have already completed. I finished it last night, and it is Good Omens by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett, which I picked up because both of these authors in the same book, it is about the apocalypse gone wrong. So we'll be talking more about this book in my wrap-up, but take a good look at it now because it is a library copy and it is going back and you will never see it again. The second book I want to read is one that I picked up used for $1 several years ago and have not read, and that is Ava Luna by Isabel Allende. I read The House of the Spirits sometime between maybe the end of high school and the beginning of college, and I don't remember much about it except that I thought that her prose was phenomenal, and I have the vague feeling that I didn't actually enjoy it much, but I felt really good about myself for reading like world literature by women, so I picked up this one too. So I will see what I think about this at this point in my life. I think the title character in this is a storyteller of some stripe, so that intrigues me because I like books about storytellers. The next book I have on this list is also a library book, and that is Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Taylor. This is the second book in the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy. I listened to the first book, Daughter of Smoke and Bone, on audiobook because I know it won the Audio Award for Fantasy whatever year it was released. And I thought the audiobook was actually really masterfully done. But I wanted to continue reading this trilogy on paper because the writing is so incredibly rich, Laini Taylor's writing, and I wanted to sort of take it at my own pace. And I think that's, for me, what makes this trilogy worth reading, is I think Laini Taylor's writing style is sort of stylistically a cut above what's normal, run-of-the-mill for young adult urban fantasy paranormal, which is what this is. So I'm hoping that the second book lives up to the expectations that I have from the first book. The next book I'm really hoping to read this month is Radiance by Catherynne and Valente. I pre-ordered this when it came out in October, but I have been making it wait its turn in my TBR pile because clearly I like to torture myself. I will point out that in order to put this as high up as I did in my TBR pile, I did have to demote the entire Fairyland series, which I also own and have been wanting to read for like even longer than I knew this book was going to be in existence. So I don't know if I have my priorities straight, but nevertheless. And Valente's writing, at least her adult writing, is really unusual. So I don't know how to describe what sort of book I'm thinking this is going to be. So I'm just going to read you this. Radiance is a deco-punk pulp SF alt-history space opera mystery set in a Hollywood and a solar system very different from our own. Severin Oak's father is a famous director of gothic romances in an alternate past in which talking movies are still a daring innovation due to the patent-hoarding Edison family. Rebelling against her father's films of passion, intrigue, and spirits from beyond, Severin starts making documentaries, traveling through space and investigating the levitator cults of Neptune and the lawless saloons of Mars. For this is not our solar system, but one drawn from classic science fiction in which all the planets are inhabited and we travel through space on beautiful rockets. Severin is a realist in a fantastic universe. But her latest film, which investigates the disappearance of a diving colony on a watery Venus populated by island-sized aliens called calla whales, will be her last, though her crew limps home to Earth and her story is preserved by the colony's last survivor. Severin will never return. Aesthetically recalling a trip to the moon and House of Leaves and told using techniques from classic film, gossip magazines, and metafictional narrative, Radiance is a solar system spanning story of love, exploration, family, loss, quantum physics, and silent film. Ho ho! So I love meta-narrative stuff, and I think that's something that Valente does really, really well. Her fiction that I've read so far shows an exquisite sort of sense of writing about how stories work. And so a book about an alternate history film industry just seems right up my alley. And it is told through various sorts of mediums. There are film scripts, there are other sorts of documents in here, letters and so forth. It's really interesting. So what I'm expecting is I'm expecting this to be incredibly smart. I am expecting it to make me think and think even harder, and I cannot frickin' wait. While I was waiting for my pre-order to show up in the mail and this book was out in stores, I actually read like the first 2 pages of it in the new release section in the bookstore. And these first couple pages are a prologue, and it's about the history of prologues. And I just melted into a puddle on the floor of Barnes & Noble and like had to scoop myself up again. So I am freakishly excited for this and I cannot wait. And then if I get through all of that and it's still February, I will start, well, even if it's not still February, this is what I'm going to read after I get through all of that. But when I get through all of that, and I'm hoping it will still be February, I will get to start reading The Lord of the Rings. Wah-ha-ha! I'm so excited to start this. This one is The Fellowship of the Ring. I don't like to read series straight through. I like to put books in between so that I'm not stuck in one place, in one world, for an extended period of time. So I won't be reading them all at once. I'll be reading this and then I'll read something else and then I'll read the second book and then I'll read something else. But, woohoo! So this is my February TBR, no longer quite in the right order. I also have a hold at the library on Stars Above, which is the Lunar Chronicles short story collection by Marissa Meyer that just came out, and I honestly don't know when I'm going to get that, but I will read it when I get that. I think I'm in early hold, so I think I'll get one of the first copies to process through the system. I just don't know how long my library system is gonna take to process the new release and actually get it out to people with holds. So that is my February TBR. Let me know if you've read any of these books. Let me know if there's something you're really excited to read in February. And that is all. Bye for now.